won though, and it bashed Drew Levin because his deck didn't have enough Wrath of Gods in it.
Yeah.
We saw...
Did he have Arc Trail instead of Pyroclasm?
Yeah, Pyroclasm, but
Okay.
it just wasn't really enough.
Yeah.
There was...
It looks like we have Edgar Flores against AJ Soccer.
So AJ's on red. Do you know what Edgar's on?
I know Dave Shields is playing Tempered Steel. I don't know if Edgar's playing that as well. I think Edgar lost round 1 also, so he's been battling back.
That's a grind.
Yeah.
What else have we had? We had a green, white, black.
What's Edgar playing? Oh.
Well, okay, well, same thing. Yeah, nothing new.
Edgar refuses to change.
Edgar plays Callblade again.
Yep.
He gets mono red. Yeah. What else? We had this green, white, black sort of mid-range deck in one of the feature matches, in like round 5 at 4-0.
Okay.
It had Mirren Crusader, Squadron Hawk, Vengevine, Birds of Paradise, a couple Thrun, and then the black cards were like Dismember, Go for the Throat. It had a main deck Haunting Echoes, which was a little weird.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It had, but it had like Sword of War and Peace, just one Haunting Echoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of odd.
I don't know. You play against like Valakut or Twin or something. You,
if
like,
you
kill
hit
their guy and
die,
echoes them, maybe. You know, just, Miser's one of.
But against Vampires, he brought in like Leyline of Sanctities and stuff. He had Oblivion Rings. It was an interesting deck.
But he lost.
Oh.
There will be a repair.
Oh.
So you go back to the parent.
I kind of wanted to watch Edgar play AJ.
I kind of wanted to watch Callblade happen.
Well, I just watched that last round. You missed out.
I definitely did.
Yeah. It was fun. Like the end of game 2 was them activating manlands for about 7 turns, and that was it.
No spells, just...
No, because they're all drawing like dead mana leaks and spell pierces and stuff.
Have you played with that deck a lot, or?
Not a lot. That was like my 3rd choice coming in, I think. But it seems kind
What
of...
was your second?
Valakut.
Okay. I mean, you know, 60% of the time it works every time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, Drew a Titan this game. Oh, cast it, and you didn't counter it. Cool.
Yeah. Solemn's a sweet card, though. I don't mind playing with that.
Everyone I've talked to has been saying they've just board Solemn on a lot, but it's just kind of like it's a very average card that
Agreed.
You could get better cards for.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it's Solemn. Everyone likes, you know, there's a reason they reprinted it. Everyone likes Solemn.
Yeah, exactly. One of my opponents played a Solemn and then he died, but, you know.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
You know, 4-mana sorceries aren't really the best choice necessarily in the world of your decks.
Yeah. It can be tough out there sometimes.
So do you like your deck for tomorrow, or?
I was thinking about playing High Tide if I can get a hold of the cards.
The Candelabras?
Yeah, I mean, I could play without them, actually. I wouldn't mind that too much. I think I only have 2 in my list right now.
Okay.
But it seems good against the blue-white decks. Like, if they have a sideboard full of Meddling Mages and Dealing Clicks, then it might be kind of tough, but...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all the combo decks are the same. It's like, yes, if your blue-white 16 counterspell opponent decides to waste their sideboard slots on
fighting
combo hate instead of, you know, not losing a game to a Wild Nacatl, you know, they will beat you, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ether Sworn Cannon is backed by 16 counterspells is not something you're going to beat.
Is there like a Slay or something that I could play for blue creatures?
There's Hibernation.
For blue creatures.
Repulse? Oh, for blue creatures.
Yeah, well, so if they like Meddling Mage me, I want to kill it, but I don't want to just have like this Dismember in my deck or something. I want to kill it and draw a card.
Oh, you're black? They're actually...
I want to play High Tide.
Oh.
And I think my blue-white matchup is good, and that's kind of the reason why I want to play the deck. But I'm saying if they have Meddling Mage and Vendilion in their board, then it's kind of tough.
Repulse exists. There's a black card that's Execute. It's just white, kills a white creature.
Yeah, it doesn't kill Vendilion though.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it could just be like Splash Red Blast or something. I don't really want to do that though. They all have Wastelands.
Yeah, getting Wastelanded in a combo deck is actually the most miserable one.
Yeah, agreed.
It's like, yes, your deck is cheating on lands. You cannot get Wastelanded.
Yeah. It's a little greedy.
Yeah.
But no, I had a lot of fun playing that deck, and the 2 matches I remember losing were to Drew and Edgar, both playing Team America, and I just got him to Turok like 6 times in each match, and that was tough. But
it always hits your best cards too. Yeah.
Well, not even that. It's just like it's all about resources.
Yeah.
The open players, the actual feature matches for this round is.
Okay, let's see.
Table 1, Timothy Skolsky against David Shields at
Dave
Garrick.
Shields. 7-0 with Tempered Steel.
Jason Hager and Dan Loser at Liliana. Table 4, Nate Pease and Kyle Dembinski at Jace.
Kyle's good people. I like Kyle.
Yeah, that'd be a cool match. It's also Tempered Steel versus Paladin.
At Venture. And table 12, Edgar Flores against Jonathan Zucchini at Elspeth.
So we,
That would be another Cobblade Mirror,
yeah,
right?
that's Cobblade Mirror.
Yeah. Let's see.
Kind of crazy.
So much.
You can't keep him down.
The deck's Hero Blade Hold's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Sukanik's on the Mirror Angel gravitational shift, so.
I mean, it's close enough to Hero. You know, just marginal differences. One's better if they have the removal spell, one's better if they don't.
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing like a mirror match, though, Hero just like dies in combat a lot of the time.
Sure.
So that's kind of sad. But,
It happens. You know, you save your dismembers and you hope it doesn't.
yeah.
That was definitely one of the decks I was advising people to play was Cobblade.
Yeah. Did you talk to Kyle Blogamus a lot, or?
A fair amount, yeah. No.
Because he wrote his article on the deck, and
That was, yeah.
he did.
That was,
He did some kind of interesting things with like Mirror Crusaders and Spell Skites. And, like, he branched out a little bit.
We didn't really like Blade Slicer when we were playing it.
Yeah.
He felt kind of like a Porcelain Legionnaire that cost too much, and Porcelain Legionnaire that cost too much wasn't very good.
Right. Oh, was getting two bodies not all that relevant, or?
Not super relevant.
Okay.
We were
That's
winning
fair.
a lot more with Hero though, so maybe it was. I don't
Okay.
know. I was a big fan of Tempered Steel, but that might just.
There's so many good white cards.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a first. It's like the best color.
Yeah.
The time is now 6:20. You have 50 minutes. You may begin.
Looks like we're close to getting some deck lists. Let's see who we got. We have Kyle Dembinski versus
Nate Pease.
Nate Pease. So Kyle Dembinski is on a Tempered Steel list. He has 4 Spell Skites, 3 Porcelain Legionnaires, 4 Dispatch, 2 Dismember. He's playing 21 lands and 2 Mox Opals. Mono white, he's got the typical stuff: Ball Scourge, Memnite, Signal Pass, Steel Overseer, Glinthawk Idol, Tempered Steel. And Nate Pease is playing the deck that Caleb Durwood was playing earlier on this cast with Pure Steel Paladin. It's blue-white. It plays Pure Steel Paladin, Preordained, Mortar Pod. Trinket Mage is kind of Stoneforge Mystic replacement. It gets Flare Husk and Basilisk Collar.
Life
And
Staff.
Silvok Life Staff. Other equipment, he has Sword of Body and Mind, 2 Feast and Famines, and 2 War and Pieces. He's got Dispatch for removal, Main Deck Core Firewalker, Etch Champion, and 1 Apostle's Blessing.
A little spice.
Little bit. And 1 Glinthawk.
Yeah.
Just a body.
So this matchup from the Pro Tour, it was pretty clear that like the Pure Steel Paladin decks were favored, right?
Yes, but that was also a different world involving Hero Blade Hold.
Right.
I think that in this matchup, the Pure Steel deck's significantly more reliant on the card Pure Steel Paladin,
Yep.
as opposed to having this sort of bulky size advantage over the Tempered Steel deck, assuming that Tempered Steel wasn't in play.
Yeah, and for this format, the Tempered Steel decks have to play a bunch of removal to deal
Right.
with Deceiver X.
The Tempered Steel deck also has like Steel Overseer, which is huge, and neither deck, the Pure Steel deck and block had like Revoke Existence or Relic Warder, which helped deal with the card Tempered Steel, and there just really isn't anything in these lists to deal with
Yeah.
it. There also aren't 4 Sword of War and Pieces like there used to be in the block deck, and there's no longer Vault Scourge to suit up. So it's going to be interesting.
It seems like the Tempered Steel deck is a pretty big favorite, though.
Seems like the Tempered Steel deck is just a much more consistently powerful deck. Looks like Kyle was on the play here. He has a Signal Pest and a Steel Overseer to Nate's Pure Steel Paladin. And Kyle also has Inkmoth Nexus in play. Kyle has 2 more Signal Pests to go with the first one.
And a dispatch.
And a dispatch for that Pure Steel Paladin. And activate Steel Overseer, gets in for 1.
That was a pretty crazy turn 3.
Yes. Seems pretty standard. This is 12 damage on the swing next turn, I think. Possibly more if he swings at the Overseer.
Yeah. Nate has like some mortar pods for removal, but those aren't going to do any good. He has no sweepers or anything, so...
No. This game's probably already out of his control.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I think Kyle drew another dispatch, so... you can't even get a Pure Steel Paladin and just start going nuts to get back in.
Yeah.
Nate now has a Flare Husk and a Glinthawk Idol in play to Kyle's 3 Signal Pests and a Steel Overseer. Both of them have 2 lands and an Inkmoth Nexus as their 3rd. Kyle plays a Glinthawk Idol, animates his... It looks like his Idol and his Nexus.
Yep, both.
To add counters with Steel Overseer, and then just bashes with 3 Signal Pests for 12 damage. Nate really doesn't have any good blocks here. X3s now.
Yeah, not really.
And game 1's probably going to be over almost as soon as we started watching. And if Nate takes this, he goes to 7.
So when I said the Tempered Steel deck might be favored, I think I was right. Like
Pretty
these
reasonably.
kind of openings are pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, Steel Overseer definitely adds to the deck and makes it much more resilient, I'd say.
Yeah,
much more resilient to its own draws.
Yeah, it's another Tempered Steel that you kind of have to work for, but...
In the mirror, it's by far the best card. So.
Yeah.
It's a Tempered Steel plus another Tempered Steel every turn, so... Yeah, Nate just packs it in and says, let's go to game 2. So looking at that, Kyle has in his board, Core Firewalker not going to come in, Celestial Purge probably not coming in, Active Aggression, I don't really see that one being good. He's got Shrine of Loyal Legions, which probably isn't worth it in this matchup.
Depends what he thinks is going to happen. If he thinks that Nate is going to board in a bunch of Day of Judgments or something, maybe that card's worth it. And if his matchup is good enough already that that's probably the only way he's going to lose, then maybe he wants to play the Shrine.
I don't really see it. That doesn't sound like the kind of thing Kyle would do. Kyle's just going to kill him.
Yeah.
He's probably going to bring in this the 3rd Dismember. And I can see Kyle boarding in an Elspeth Thrall. Maybe boarding out a couple Spell Skites. They probably aren't the best in this matchup.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Then Nate has over here 4 Dismembers that are probably coming in, or some number of them just to deal with Steel Overseer. Flash Freeze and Negate aren't that good. Neither is Core Firewalker. 2 Sword of F and F. Yes.
I don't know if that's legit, but
it's Sword F and F. It's identifiable uniquely. So this sort of Warren piece is probably coming in. Probably for a Feast and Famine. These Firewalkers can probably get out for some Dismembers. And that's about it for him.
Yeah,
probably wants his Apostle's Blessing for sure.
Looks like not either of these players have really anything to bring in.
No, they're just kind of sitting there looking at each other.
They definitely have a lot of hate for Splinter Twin and a lot of hate for red decks.
Yeah, I was talking with Kyle before this, and apparently last night he was sitting there. His sideboard had 4 Firewalkers, 4 Celestial Purges, and like 2 of some other card, and he was trying to figure out what the last... He's like sitting there figuring out what he needs in the sideboard. And the first thing he says is, after several minutes of silence, what else can we board in for the red matchup? Necessary. Real necessary.
Some people just hate losing the Lightning Bolt.
Kyle likes playing Lightning Bolt. He probably knows how easy it is to lose to it.
Yeah. Well, he also respects it, apparently. So.
Yeah, Nate also has these Firewalkers and Flash Freezes and another Warren piece. Both of these decks look pretty stacked against the red decks.
Yeah.
Though I haven't seen much of that one either today.
I saw a few. but
We had CVM on earlier, and
yeah. Well, him and AJ are both playing the deck.
yeah, AJ's doing well
Yeah.
with his appropriately colored hair.
Yes.
Yes. Was that intentional on his part, or was he
I'm
just
really not
trying
sure.
something
You'd
new?
have to ask him probably. But
I see.
maybe it influenced his decision a little bit. Maybe it was not intentional, but
Yeah.
kind of just seeped in and took control.
All that Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Just looking at some of the other stuff.
Andrew Brokaw, draft number 13 is waiting for you.
So Nate, like the realistic ways Nate has to win this matchup are Mortar Pod's probably pretty good,
Yes.
especially if Kyle doesn't have a temper seal. That's
Right.
how he's gonna win is just mortar potting down all of his guys eventually.
And that'd be great too, because it could stop the overseers from getting active.
Right.
Seems very important.
Because of that spell set, it might be a little better than I thought it was in this
Yeah,
matchup.
actually, I was just looking at that.
Let's see.
Because Mortarpod on its own basically kills all of his creatures if he doesn't have a Spellskite or a Tempered Steel, so
Doesn't kill a Glinthawk Idol, but yeah, everything else dies to Mortar Pod.
I don't think a solitary Glinthawk Idol is going to get there.
No, not without a Tempered Steel. He does have some quality equipment for this matchup. Nate has sort of like War and Peace is going to swing the game a lot if it connects, and Body and Mind as well.
Yeah, it's tough though, because you start the game so far behind already, and then very few of his creatures are white, so he can still block it if he really wants to, but
That's true. There's less of Hero Blade Hold than there was with Lock Deck.
yeah.
But Nate's on the play, so he might not get too far behind fast. Let's see. Still sideboarding for the next game.
Etch Champion, very, very sad card.
Yeah.
Against the nearly
all artifacts
Yeah.
deck. The nearly gets blocked by Spellskite every time deck. Yeah.
That's tough.
It's a rough life for an Etch Champion. So it's interesting to note that we had Caleb on earlier with the blue-white Paladin deck, and he was saying that the Splinter Twin matchup was good for him, and we watched it, and he won, but I just thought that was a kind of interesting thing to say with, he's got some removal, he's got a couple counters, but
very few cards that actually interact.
Not
and
that-
his clock is not that slow,
yeah.
or not that fast. So
Right.
I don't know.
that was just, it might be interesting to have a Splinter Twin Player's perspective on that. But here we go. Nate Pease led on a Seachrome Coast. Kyle has Memnite, Mox Opal, Plains on turn one. It looks like he has another Mox, a Glinthawk Idol, a Spellskite, and I think that's a Dismember. Nate Pease has a Mortarpod on turn two,
Which is key.
Yes. Which does not come with a flying token, but
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. Looks like Kyle cut the one lander, I think, with the Mox.
Yeah, he had a Mox, so very, very few cards you could draw that would actually make it so he can't play any spells. But
Right. Just having to draw one of them and having to get Mortar Potted. So Memnite gets in there for potentially one.
I would imagine that Nate.
Just bins that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kyle is stuck on lands. Nate's probably going to use that Glinthawk to re-up that Mortar Pod. Said opts for a Trinket Mage.
I think he's gonna get.
Life Staff or Collar, I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably Collar.
I would think Collar too, just because then he can start killing all of his guys.
Yeah. With Mortar Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put on the Collar, get in the cannon.
Yep. And maybe that had something to do with why Caleb thinks his matchup against Splinter Twin is good. If he ever assembles that combination, that's another thing that they have to deal with. But
Sure. That's true.
Not the best of weapons, I think. But
No. Resolving a 3-mana sorcery to get another 3-mana sorcery to play with your 2-mana sorcery.
it looks like Nate is probably short on guys. Just getting another Flare Husk.
Yeah.
No Flare Husk.
He has the sort of War and Peace in his hand that he's probably just trying to get
Oh,
active.
okay. Makes sense.
Kyle draws and plays a Signal Pest, and
Sad.
he's done. Nate draws the other card we were talking about, Silvok Life Staff.
He almost searched for that one too. He moved it to the front.
Yeah. Tricky Mage gets in for 2. Flinthawk comes in, rebuys the Mortar Pod. And Flare Husk also comes in.
That singular Glinthawk's doing a lot of work.
It's a little bit of a germ party over here. Nate guns down that Signal Pest. Kyle draws yet another not land.
Tempered Steel this time, it looked like.
Yeah, things are probably not going to go his way this game.
Yeah, it seems like both games, like the other player just got too far ahead, and none of these players really have a whole lot to come back from a board position like this. So.
No, especially because Nate can follow this up with a sort of War and Peace pretty easily and just instantly kill Kyle, basically. Nate equips Mortar Pod to the Germ Token from Flare Husk. Equips Silvok Lightstaff on it. Cute combo there. And gets in for 6.
Dismember on the Glinthawk.
Yeah, Dismember on the Glinthawk makes that 8. Kyle goes to 10. Nate also Mox Opal Kyle's Mox Opal, but that lives the currently dead one in his hand, so equally irrelevant.
Yeah, but it made it so he couldn't equip Sword that turn, so.
Equally irrelevant on Nate's part, but on Kyle's part it's... And yet another not land for Kyle, Memnite.
Shows him the Mox Opal and scoops up his plans.
Yes. Okay, and next one. Let's try that again.
This is definitely a different standard format than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, you're used to having like 7 decisions on turn 2 instead of playing all 7 of your cards. And,
yep.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yep.
Can you beat me?
Nope. Dead. Cool. Try again. Well, Mortar Pod was definitely huge that game.
Yeah.
It even though Kyle was mana screwed, it just kept him completely out of the game instead of having any chance of coming back. Let's see. Yeah.
Mortar Pod is one of those cards that's like very unassuming, where you look at it, you read it, you're like, yeah, this is playable.
Yeah.
Don't really know how good it is, and then it's just like windmill slam, first pick.
Yeah, everything's a Mog Fanatic, kill everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a little bit for people to catch on to that, and now in Constructed, I mean, he's playing 4, and it seems like he's very, very happy to be playing 4 Mortar Pods in his main deck. So.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a card that people, only the most diehard of diehard Stoneforge Mystic fanatics was on it. I think it was like Craig Wesco. I think like Alex West may have made like one comment about the Basilisk color combo when it first came out. And then, And then Stoneforge Mystic exploded. It's just like, oh, we can Mortar Pod a Lotus Cobra. That's cool.
Yeah.
And
that was basically it.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, we can Mortar Pod anything. Let's play a bunch. It's a kind of nice removal spell for these white decks that don't really have, that much access to removal otherwise.
Yeah. You just need some sort of engine, it seems like, Like, these decks all trade back and forth for the most part, like trade creatures, trade resources, and then you have this thing that can actually just take over in the mid-game. That seems very important.
Yeah, the Tempered Steel deck has, like, the Tempered Steels that take over. This deck has the Pure Steel Paladins that take over, and the Mortar Pod can take over this matchup, just like the Steel Overseer can if it's active.
It's interesting to see the players that kind of like made names for themselves playing Callblade still sticking to blue-white. Like Nate Pease and Edgar are both just like, no, I refuse to give it up.
No,
we're still going to make it happen.
I refused to play that deck for so long, Callblade. I thought it was so bad looking at it. And then you play it and you're like, wait, I can do everything?
Yeah.
Or anything? Or nothing?
Use your mana every turn.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great signs that your deck is doing something right, I think.
All of your mana at every point in the game is like tied up into like 7 different options.
Yeah.
Kyle looks at his opening 7, thinks for a minute. He's keeping. Let's see what Nate does.
It was like a weird frowny expression from Nate when he like drew his opening hand and looked at it, but
Nate's keeping. Yeah. Kyle leads on Signal Pest, Mem Knight. Looks like he's got a Tempered Steel, a Spellskite, a land, so that looks like
that's good.
Kind of the nuts.
Much better start than he had last game,
Oh,
and
yeah,
a Mox
Opal off the top. Okay, yeah, that's pretty typical.
So Tempered Steel in.
Okay, well, oh, there's another Tempered Steel.
And Hari cannot stop giggling because this draw is so hilarious.
It's pretty comical.
Yeah.
The Tempered Steel deck just kind of does that. Oh, and
6 on turn 2.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dead. Realistically, could have killed you on 3 maybe if I'd drawn the right card.
Yeah, just like another Mem Knight in this draw, and it's basically over. But
Yeah. Oh, plus 4 damage this turn, plus
Nate's,
a million.
Nate's just like, what am I doing?
It's just,
I'm I
playing
have
these
a I have a
cards.
Celestial Colonnade in play, and I think I'm dead already.
Yeah, like, well, let's see. I can play 1 spell, and then he'll untap and play his 4th spell of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, fifth. Mox Opal's a spell. And I'm going to take, a million damage and be dead on board. Yeah.
So they fixed Affinity, but
instead of Arcbound Ravager, you just have Tempered Steel.
Mem Knights.
Yeah. Instead of Frog Mites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair. It's a 1/1 instead of a 2/2, right? You lose a power. That's the fix.
Oh wow. Nate's second land is a come into play tapped Glacial Fortress.
Oh boy. I think he's debating what to dismember at this point. Putting him to 10. Yeah, it looks like a dismember that is probably going to be aimed at the Signal Pest. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how much removal he has, because if he can kill all the other guys, then obviously Signal Pest is like the worst.
Kyle draws. Plays his other Tempered Steel.
Hold on.
No, hold, please.
Rethinks. Spellskite.
Play Spellskite. Crunches for 3. By the way, still have this one.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird.
I think he drew a Dispatch. So he was on autopilot. It's just like, oh, I should probably play a Dispatch up so he just dies, maybe.
Yeah, stopped and did some math.
Yeah. Kyle still has, not that many cards in hand. Nate could realistically have a couple removal spells and, be somewhat back in this game. As much as you can be against 2 Tempered Steels.
Yeah, I mean, all of his dismembers are dead. So the 6 toughness Spellskite, which is pretty annoying.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really have removal that hits this, actually.
Yeah, because
he doesn't have Dispatch up. Okay. Strike that last comment. He's probably just dead. Spellskite with mana to pay up, obviously.
Don't want to go below 20 in this game.
Yeah, I know.
Can't risk it.
No. Yeah, that was one of the cute things about the blue-white version of this deck was you could pay for Spellskite.
Yeah.
Nate's considering how not to die. He looks like
he's in a tight spot though.
Yeah.
So
looks like he's got a Pure Steel Paladin, Sylvok Lifestaff, Trinket Mage.
So he's got options between like Trinket Mage and like maybe the Life Staff. Like he could probably hold off dying for
the Life Staff. He probably could kind of get somewhere with like artifacts on board into Dispatch and like.
You could definitely not die in like a turn or 2, but.
Well, given that Kyle has a second Tempered Steel, it's pretty awkward. This next champion.
Well, he knows he has a Tempered Steel, so maybe Trinket Mage just for a Mox to try and kill his land.
Yeah,
that'd be a start.
Sure.
I hope that maybe he draws like another Tempered Steel or something.
No, he just gets Basilisk Collar, Kyle Dispatches, and that's match. Cool. Played all of 4 turns.
4 turns in each game.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. We were talking about the different options between like the white weenie decks, the different engines. You see them battle each other, and they're just like they all seem very powerful.
Yeah, they're all just bashing each other repeatedly. Yeah, and that's that. Tempered Steel on turn 2 kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good draw on Kyle's part.
Yes, it definitely was. The Mox Opal was a very good top deck, I would say.
Did you draw that one on turn 2?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. He might have played something else on turn 1, I don't know. From what I saw, it looked like he drew it.
He was probably thinking of a card.
Yeah. Thinking and hoping.
Wishing a prayer.
Not Elspeth Corral, that's all you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, Kyle just wants to get people dead. I don't think he was even messing with that Elspeth.
Yeah. He said he's boarded in today.
Yeah.
But I don't know what for. Okay, it looks like we're trying to find another match we wanted to camera. That one was...
Which makes sense, since
Yes.
that one was a blowout.
There's probably still some matches on game 1 over there, so... Yeah, that's Tempered Steel for you.